Hey guys, I released a video a couple of weeks ago and it was titled something like a video for a small number of people, and it seems only a small number of people understood what that video is about, so it was correct title. This video is the same. It's basically the same thing, it's just a sort of a different day today. So the day started today with posting a video. First thing I do every morning is post a video, read all the messages, all the comments on all the videos, post on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, do all the usual thing that I do every morning. That's what I do every morning, 365 days a year. That's how I start my day. And you get the usual stuff. Internet, you know, you spend so much time on the internet, there's so much BS on there. But there was just a really unfortunate combination of events this morning. So I don't normally click on the analytics for the channel, but I was just curious because there was a couple of things that triggered it. So I clicked on the analytics and we lost over 100 subscribers in the last month. And I had a look at the chart and it showed when different ones dropped off, and it connected directly to the videos that I knew would be unpopular. And the latest one was the myth one about the train station staying open for one female student, and I knew that would be unpopular. And one guy actually had the honesty. Usually what you get on those is a whole lot of dislike clicks, and it's people that just don't want to know. They prefer their fantasy version of Japan, and that when you pop their bubble by pointing out that something's BS, they don't like it and they click the dislike button, right? And one guy had the honesty to say, "Oh, you must be fun at parties. It's true in my mind," or something like that. Which, you know, I always admire people's honesty when they say things like that, because he's saying what obviously other people are thinking, is that they prefer their fantasy in their mind. And if I come along and pop the bubble, they don't like it, right? So most people aren't going to like this video at all, and this video is not for most people. So if you're in that category where your fantasy image of Japan, you prefer to keep that, and you'd prefer that to the reality of Japan, this video is not for you. The next thing that happened then was, because I was posting on Facebook and all the social media, then what happens is, because I'm posting stuff and because I'm in Japan and I'm posting stuff about Japan, what happens is all this related Japan stuff comes up, right? And because I'm posting in English, all the English stuff about Japan comes up, and it's all just the clickbaiters. It's all just the clickbaiters. And I just finished editing a video. I wasn't going to make this video. I just finished editing a video where there's all this rage clickbait at the moment, because there is some legitimate discussion about foreigners in Japan. Then obviously a lot of foreigners are nervous about that. People that want to visit Japan, or people that want to come to Japan in the future, or people who are already in Japan, obviously at the moment are very sensitive to any sort of discussion about foreigners in Japan. So what's happening is the clickbaiters are taking full advantage of that. And I don't know if I've released this video when you've seen this one, if I've released the one I just made or not. But you know, there was a guy in a convenience store that got some noodles off the shelf, and he understood that there was hot water in the store that he could put in his noodles. So he got the noodles off the shelf, opened them up, put the hot water in, and then took it over to the counter to pay for it, right? And which is a mistake. What you're supposed to do is pay for it first, then put the hot water in. But the staff member's just gone, "Oh, sorry, you should pay for it before you put the hot water in next time," you know? That was it. That was the whole story. It was no big deal. It was some newcomer to Japan that made a mistake. And I mean, Japanese people that visit other countries and make mistakes, obviously have that pointed out to them too. Anybody who's travelled anywhere in the world would have made an innocent mistake, not much different than that, probably worse than that. I made a lot worse mistakes than that when I first came to Japan. The number of times I walked through genkans and kept walking in my shoes because I didn't realise it was a genkan, because there was a mat that changed colour, and I just walked through a place and someone's gone, "Oh, no shoes, no shoes." The number of mistakes I've made in my life, no big deal, right? No big deal. But the clickbaiters and attention seekers all post that nonsense with all these headings about big debate, fierce debate in Japan about this mistake that this foreigner made. Poor bastard. I mean, you know, this poor guy that that all these people are going on about. He sparked a fierce debate about manners. He sparked a fierce debate about the law. There's no debate about the law. The law is he hadn't taken it out of the store yet, so it wasn't theft. There's no debate about the law. So it's all these clickbaiters. So my frustration is, and again, if you're one of these people who buys into that clickbaity rage nonsense, there's this big debate in Japan and there's big rage and there's no big debate going on. What there is a whole bunch of English-speaking clickbaiters who I suspect most of whom are not even in Japan, are posting all this nonsense and they're the ones that are building this thing. There's no rage in Japan. All this BS I see on social media about Japan in English, I don't see on Japanese TV or in Japanese social media or hear from my Japanese friends or family or neighbours or anybody else. It's all that BS is just being stirred up in this English-speaking Japan clickbaiting group of people. And they peddle this image that all this stuff is a big debate and it's all a big deal. This guy pouring water into his noodles is a huge, big debate in Japan. It's all BS. So my frustration is I had this series of things this morning. And again, there's always lots of people, most people who misunderstand the points of these videos. It doesn't matter how clearly you try to express yourself in these videos. There's always the majority of people just seem to totally miss the point. The thing about the people unsubscribing doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As I've tried to explain lots of times before, I don't care about making my videos popular. There's always people who watch these videos and then in the comments give advice about how to make my videos more popular. You should make videos like Tokyo Jimmy. Tokyo Jimmy makes really popular videos. You should make videos like his. Totally missing the point, right? What did like a final straw with this was that I was on Patreon and noticed that the patronage from the support on Patreon had dropped. And I checked that and checked the exit surveys, and that corresponded with the unpopular videos as well. And again, that's fine. If people don't like what we do, that's fine. But the frustration comes from this overwhelming feeling. On most days, I just accept all this. The clickbaiters, if we made clickbait videos and posted clickbait BS on social media like they do, I mean, I've been doing this for 17, 18 years. I know what sells. So I could easily get the same images that they use and post the same clickbait nonsense that they post and get thousands of views. And this is what I see all the time, is the clickbait BS gets thousands, tens of thousands of views. And because what happens is they stir up that rage, about this bad person's behaviour and all the commenters underneath, oh, if you go to Japan, you should do the right thing. He shouldn't be there, all this unfair, unreasonable rage BS, right? But it sells because when you get hundreds of comments underneath videos like that, that promotes them more in the algorithm. That's why I'm seeing them. That's why you're seeing them, is because all that commenting and rage stuff that they do builds up and it gets picked up in the algorithms, and then more people see it and off it goes. And usually I just accept this, that if you make videos about the reality of Japan, there's only a small number of people want to see that. The stuff that we make where we show anything and everything, we don't stop to think about if it's going to be popular, if it's going to be what it is. We just show you anything and everything. It's what you see is what it's like living in Japan, because living in Japan is not a big fantasy thing. There's some stuff that's absolutely amazing. I reckon real Japan is better than all their fantasy BS fake Japan. Because, I mean, obviously I choose to live here because I love this place. It's an awesome place. And all those amazing things that we show you about Japan are all true. Everything we show you is what we really see. It's not something that we've seen. Those clickbaiters, all they're doing is, you can see the photos that they use are all the same. They pick them up sometimes from legitimate reports and then put their clickbait BS on it and off it goes. That one with the girl at the train station thing, that came from a legitimate Japanese TV program and then got picked up by clickbaiters, and then they just changed the clickbait BS underneath it and just write whatever nonsense that they want to write. And same with our noodle guy. You know, none of them reported the real story. A guy went into a shop and accidentally put water in the noodles before paying for them. It was no big deal. The staff behind the counter just told him, oh, next time can you pay for them before you put the water in. That was the whole story. You know, JR Hokkaido decided that a train station wasn't busy enough and it didn't justify being open anymore, so they closed it. That's the whole story. But they take those just day-to-day stories, add the clickbait to it, and off they go. You know, and this is shogunai. Japanese people say shogunai about this. The reason for this video is an appeal to those small number of people who want the real story, who want to see the amazing stuff about the Japan and the not so interesting stuff about Japan and the very interesting stuff about Japan and the positive stuff and the negative stuff and just all the stuff. That small number of people. The other group of people who this video is not for are those people who believe, and we always get these comments too, is the people that believe that everything that they get, that they should be able to get their music for free. This isn't exactly what they say, but this is their meaning. They want to be able to get their music for free, their movies for free, their YouTube videos for free. They want people to create stuff that they can enjoy for free. Okay, and that's fine. If that's your belief, that's fine. This video is not for you. Okay, the small number of people this video is for are for the people who want the real story, who want to support someone who's trying to create stuff that is real, and not go down that hole of posting BS just to get support, just to get attention, just to get clicks, just to make money. You know, I want to be able to continue doing what we're doing without having to BS it, without having to fool anybody or make up nonsense or repeat other nonsense that other people have said. I mean, it'd be so much easier. All that myth stuff that I show you, all that BS that I show you, it'd be much easier just to repost it and get tens of thousands of views, and that would result in more income for what we do, and we could do what they're doing. We could, but I don't want to do that. So if there's a small number of people out there, I know that there is a small number of people already on Patreon and PayPal and Ko-fi. We have some people who support what we do, and those people, their encouragement, it's not just logistically allowing me to spend those hours every day doing what we do, and the family help with me too. So it's not just helping us logistically support that time that goes into doing it. What it actually does too is it really encouraging. You know, when I spend the day looking at all this clickbait nonsense and all the success that has, and we're just outnumbered now with the clickbait and the BS and the AI nonsense and all the rest of that rubbish. You know, the internet now is dominated by nonsense, isn't it? The stuff that's most popular that everybody's looking at. And again, the majority of people love that nonsense. So they're winning. The people that post all that garbage are winning. And the people that post legitimate stuff, the stuff I like to watch on YouTube, the documentaries and things like that, they're just such a small minority of what's on there. And the quality, you know, the quality content, even documentaries now have this sort of a clickbaity nonsense. You won't believe what happened. You won't believe what happened next. You won't, all that clickbaity BS. Even legitimate documentary makers seem to use that sort of nonsense now as well. Manipulative nonsense that manipulates the masses, you know? And it's just rubbish. It's really disappointing. Quite often I'll click on a documentary because it looks like it might be legit, start to watch it, and it's just this aimed at the masses BS that's just ridiculous, you know, really insulting to the intelligence. What's this? You know, I just want to watch stuff that just shows me the reality of some particular topic, usually history or archaeology or something like that, you know, but just, it just seems to be, and most days I just accept this, that 99.9% of people want to watch the rubbish that is 99.9% rubbish, you know, and that, you know, the number of people that want to watch the sort of stuff that we want to watch, that's just the reality. You know, I don't spend hours editing stuff, I just take video of whatever I think's interesting. Hey, it's sort of interesting. Whatever it is, the pigeons, you know, whatever it is that I think is a little bit interesting, and just show you. And every day, because this is what every day's like in Japan. Some days it's going to be an amazing vending machine or an amazing car or an amazing something, And wow, holy dooly, you know, some days it's going to be an amazing thing. Other days it's just going to be a pigeon in a tree. That's what living in Japan is like, you know. And so that's what I'm trying to show you. This is what it's like living here. So you can tell I'm pretty pissed off. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating, a day after day after day, trying to do the legit thing. And I don't know if I finished telling you. So I checked I was on Patreon, and I noticed that our supporter dropped, and I checked. And it was some patrons chose not to support us anymore. It just happened to coincide with that last myth-busting video. So, and again, it's their right. Anybody who doesn't like what we do, anybody that thinks they should get everything that they watch for free, anybody that, whatever you want to believe, you know, those of you who watched our videos for a while will know I accept all those ideas. You know, no matter what, whether people have different ideas to what I have or what we have on any topic, I don't care, fine, that's fine. You know, I accept all that. If people want to support us or don't want to support us, that's fine. But that small number of people who do want us to continue doing what we do the way we do it, who do appreciate what we do and want to support us, please come on the team. Because sometimes it just feels like I'm fighting this huge battle, you know, trying to compete with the overwhelming massive BS, 99.9% of BS, and it's amazing. People love it. People love it. For me, it just stands out like anything. It's just like stands out like dog's balls, Australian people say, and it's obviously clickbait BS, and people just love it, you know. And I feel like I'm fighting this war, and the reason I post those myth busting videos is because even though it's a small voice, I think there are a small number. There were actually a couple of comments on that last myth-busting video about the train station. There are a couple of people in there that thanked me for the video. And that's all it takes. If one person underneath one of those videos says, thanks for that, I didn't know that, that's really good to know. That made it worthwhile making. I've said that for 17, 18 years I've been saying that. If one person gets benefit from a video, then it was worth making, you know? And that's great, that's really good. But the other thing is logistically, the amount of time that goes into making these videos. You know, what's adding to the stress at the moment is March and April is the bill time in Japan. So all the bills come in, the health insurance and the pension and all the rest of it. And I'm working as much as I can. But, you know, family to support, you guys know what that's like. And then with these hours that I spend every day doing what we're doing here, it's a bit disheartening sometimes. It's like, why am I even doing this? You know, I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it. It's such an instinct. I actually had a dream recently that I saw something amazing in a dream. And in the dream, I went, where's my camera? Right? It's my first response when I see something amazing. Cat caught a mouse yesterday for the first time. First response to that, get the camera. While I'm trying to get the mouse, told one of the kids to go get the camera. It's my first response to anything interesting, right? Love doing it. Love doing it. But logistically as far as enthusiasm is concerned, some days my enthusiasm just goes, why am I doing this? People don't want this. You know, people don't want this real stuff. They just want this fake BS drama stuff. Building up these fake dramas about the guy and his noodles. And people swallow it. And they're on there having big debates about the guy and his noodles. Some people saying, hey man, he just put water in his noodles. Oh no, he should know about Japanese culture if he comes to Japan. And big angry debates about the guy putting water in his noodles. Just that's what they want. And some days, to keep the enthusiasm for what I do, it's really hard. Because some days I think, that's what they want. It'd be so much easier to start tomorrow just posting clickbait BS and start making some good income. Because that's what sells. That's what sells on YouTube and all the social media. That's what people want to watch. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But there's some days where it's just, why am I fighting against this? You know, nobody else is. It's really common now. The old days, there used to be a lot of legit people making stuff on YouTube. I just don't see that anymore. You know, trying to find a decent documentary now. You know, it's all this clickbaity, aimed at stupid people, stuff that they make. It's like, what are you talking about? You know, just show us the history. Where's the history? And it's just all this blah, 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 you know? So anyway, as you would have noticed, this video so far has been for a very, very small number of people. Most people by now would have stopped watching. They don't care. They've moved off to click on something else, right? for that small number of people who like what we do and can see my point. You know, if we don't support the people who make good content, you know, if I don't watch good documentaries that make good, you know, that make good content and don't support those people, then they'll lose to all these other clickbaity, attention-seeking idiots. You know, if we don't support the people that make good stuff, then they'll end up losing out. If we don't support musicians by buying their music, you know, they won't be able to keep making music. You know, we've got to support the people who do things that we like them doing. Otherwise, they'll stop doing it, and the fools will win. The fools are winning. The fools are winning. Obviously, we can see that every day on the internet, can't we? So the bottom line is that small number of people who are supporting us on Patreon and Coffee and PayPal, thank you. It's only because of you that I'm going to go back in there and finish editing that video, right? And this one. and for those of you who are not supporting us already, please do, because we, you know, every time we make one of these unpopular videos, we lose some supporters every time. You can just see there's YouTube and Patreon have little graph things, and Patreon has an exit survey thing, and I check the date of the myth busting video, and I check the date that I lost the patron, and it's the same day, or patrons, two patrons on the same day that I released the myth busting video. They don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to hear it. Most people don't want to hear it, any of this. They just want to hear that drama, fantasy, BS nonsense. They don't care if it's real or not. That's why the AI is selling. Check out all the AI nonsense. It's all over the place. People are loving it. Why are they loving it? It's all fake, but they love it. They love it. That's what's winning at the moment, isn't it, on the internet? So anyway, if you want us to keep doing what we're doing, and you want to support what I just talked about, please, Patreon, Coffee, PayPal. There's a link under this video. More videos coming soon.